Hello, beautiful people. It's Robyn Thomas here with Resemble Me by Robyn. Welcome back to my channel. All right, so on today, you are going to see me do a step-by-step braid down install for my client who has a ton. When I say a ton, I mean a ton of hair. You can't tell by this here clip, but I'm telling you guys, she has so much hair, and I'm going to show you how to get a really, really nice, flat, and secure foundation that will last you at least 3 months. If you are interested in seeing how I achieve that, stay tuned. All right, so before we hop right into the tutorial, I did want to talk a little bit about braid bases. Okay, so braid bases can be used for a number of protective styles. It can be used if you are just wanting to wear your hair in cornrows and don't want to mess with it. Maybe wear scarves and put on hats or stuff like that. It's great for throwing on wigs. It's a really good for a sew-in. As a foundation. People are getting frontals nowadays. It's really good for frontal installs. Braid downs are really good for crochet braids. They're good for glueless quick weaves. Like a braid down can be used for or used as a foundation of so many hairstyles or not hairstyles. Like for instance, like I said, just like hair scarves and stuff like that. I really love braid bases because you are really able to, when it comes to the moisture part, you're really able to get to all parts of the hair without having to do too much. The moisture routine on a braid base is much quicker than it is with like individual styles and having to go through the length of the hair, because all the hair is flattened down. When you put your spritz and your oil on there, everything is getting hit. You don't have to spend as much time, and I feel like the hair is more thoroughly moisturized with less product because of the style, the protective style that it's in, which is the braid base, as opposed to when you have individuals. So I think that braid bases are really good for so many reasons. I feel like it's really good for you to wash your hair with not having to, continuously take it out and detangle and go through the whole wash day process. Less manipulation with moisture and listening to your hair and making sure you're not hurting any problem areas or anything is really, really helpful. All right, so we are going to start with washing her hair. I'm using the O Protein and Henna Fuller, Thicker, Stronger, Deep Cleansing Shampoo by Design Essentials for my first cleanse. And I'm going to go in with the Almond and Avocado Moisturizing and Detangling Sulfate-Free Shampoo for my second cleanse. Then I'm going to go in with my oil that has castor oil, grapeseed, argan, avocado, apricot, lavender, rosemary, tea tree, and cedarwood. And then I'm going to use the rosemary and mint stimulating super moisturizing conditioner. Let's get to it. All right, so after thoroughly saturating all of the strands with water, loosening up all of her curls, trying to rinse off anything that she may just have lingering around, kind of rinse it off, get that loosened up. I go in with the first shampoo, which is the deep cleansing shampoo. So this one is more stripping, is a stripping cleanser. And as you see me going through with little sections, because she has afro hair and it's a lot, I want to make sure that I'm saturating all of her, or going making sure I'm getting a lot of her scalp so that the shampoo is really, really, really getting on her scalp. So when I shampoo, I make sure to really, really focus on the scalp. I feel that the residue and the suds and stuff from the shampoo is going to go down the shaft of the hair. Of course, if a client's hair is extremely dirty and I have to like really scrub and cleanse like the entire shaft, then I will. But my client uses my products, which are natural products. So she uses products that are absorbing into the scalp and the hair as opposed to sitting on top. So anything that we're rinsing out right now is like debris and sweat and stuff like that. Things that may have clogged up throughout her having her last protective style in, which was a long time. She is doing so well. But I do focus a lot on making sure I scrub the scalp. I use very small dot sizes when I'm like going along the edges, and I take another dot. I split the hair in half, as you've seen, and you're going to see it again as well. Take another dot size and go along the part, and then I may part each of those sides just so I make sure that I get shampoo everywhere. And when I go in to actually scratch, all of her hair or scalp is saturated with shampoo. And another thing with a deep cleansing shampoo, it's not as lathering. Even though it is lathering, it's not as lathering as a moisturizing shampoo. So I'm going to show you again what I just explained. So I take little dime sizes or whatever, I don't know what to call them, and I just go through different parts of the scalp and of the hair to make sure that I have that shampoo everywhere, so that when I do start to scratch, I'm really able to every part of her hair and scalp is going to be cleansed. And I do a really, 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 really good thorough scratch to make sure again that her hair is clean. You know, the whole point of this, to have a really, really good long lasting braid foundation with really clean parts and just healthy scalp, open scalp. You want to really make sure that your wash routine is thorough and cleansing and moisturizing and all of that good stuff, okay? So whenever you go to wash out your shampoo, you want to make sure you wash all of it out, especially because we are about to go into the process of preparing her hair for a deep condition. So make sure that you wash all of that shampoo out, especially if you have super kinky hair. You do not want that lingering around. Shampoo is not meant to be deep conditioned, so you don't want that mixed with your deep conditioner while you're under the dryer, or even while you're just sitting with it. So you want to make sure that as you are rinsing out your shampoo, don't stop until you see that that water is clear. You know, no suds, no none of that. You want to make sure that all of that shampoo is out and that the scalp and the hair is very, very clean and is open to receive the moisturizing products that we're about to put on for her deep condition. I then take my oil mix and I go along the edges of her hair and I just massage it in. So this video is sped up. I massage it in a lot slower than that, but I just make sure I'm stimulating those areas that are problem areas, you know, that can cause us problem. Her edges have been going back. Oh, we celebrated our 1-year anniversary together. Woohoo! She let me know that while I was washing her hair. So her edges have definitely made a comeback since she's been coming to me. Yes, while getting braids. Yes, her edges have come back while getting braids for a year straight. Of course, we've had breaks in between, but with my direction, her hair is just doing so well. So after I massage it in on the edges, I make sure that I put a little bit more so in the middle of her scalp. That seems to be a problem area for a lot of us. That's where most of our hair is. And we seem to neglect it a lot because we are focused on like our edges and our nape area, you know, the part that you can see. But you have to make sure that the parts that you can't see are healthy as well. So I'm going in with the conditioner now, making sure that I'm getting it all over. I'm not using a ton. A little does go a long way with them, but she has a lot of hair. Her hair is longer than bra strap. You can't tell because shrinkage right now, but trust me, it is. All right, so she sat under the dryer for 30 minutes under the hooded dryer with her plastic cap on, to let that deep condition slash edge treatment really saturate and get into her hair and her scalp. That's going to help again with the moisture. Going to help kick off her moisture routine. Also, when you moisturize your hair really well in your deep condition, you don't have to use a lot of products, especially not a lot of heavy products, when it comes to your actual styling, because your hair won't be dry. So you have to make sure that you're using lightweight products too, because you don't want gunky styles. You don't want styles that you have to take it out because your hair and your scalp isn't clean, or it's just so much product that's on it that you absolutely have to wash it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to take it down to thoroughly wash it out. So I'm washing out her conditioner now, making sure that I'm getting all of that out. You do not want to leave conditioner in a person's hair, in your hair, anybody's hair. You don't want to leave that there. Yeah, you just don't want to leave. You want to make sure the hair is super duper clean. There's going to be a little bit of a like a oily residue, just a little bit from the oil, because the main oil that's in there is castor oil. Well, it's the thickest oil that's in there. So I do that on purpose though. So be mindful of that. If you do add any oil to your deep condition, and you rinse it out and you thoroughly rinse it, you're probably still going to feel a little slip, a little shine, depending on how much you put in there. And to me, that's not a problem. Like I said, it's very lightweight. And like I said, I don't have a problem with that. So anywho, wringing out her hair. Make sure I get all of that excess water out before we go to get to styling. I'm going in with my leave-ins. I use a lot of, or not a lot of, I use water-based products because moisture comes from water. So I'm using the Design Essentials Bamboo and Silk HCO leave-in conditioner. I mean, it's extremely lightweight. Use that, and then I go in with the Apple G Keratin Green Tea Reconstructorizer. This just helps because I am going to blow her hair out. So keeping those buns in her hair nice and protected goes a long way. I've been doing this 3 trio Design Essential Silk Elements right now. I've been doing this trio for like 3 or so years, and I've had clients who've been coming to me for that amount of time whose curl pattern has not loosened up. So it's a really good lightweight combination of products to put together. So I'm just making sure it's all over her hair. Of course, I'm not able to thoroughly get it all the way in just by using my hands. So I am going to go in when I separate to detangle with my comb, and that's going to help me to really make sure that that's nice and saturated on all of her strands. Here you see me beginning to separate her hair into sections. I'm going to separate her hair into 4 sections. Always remember to separate your hair in manageable sections. This is manageable for me with her hair. Her hair is always, I'm telling you, she does such a good job outside of here as well. It's always detangled even when it's not detangled. She just does such a great job. So her hair is long enough and easy for me to manage in 4 sections very easily. So I'm just going to go through and make sure that I am doing like my last little detangle through the length of her hair, which is, like I said, fairly easy. Always start from the tip and work your way up to the roots with detangling your hair. Again, use manageable sections. When you're done, I just twist it so that it stays out of the way and put it to the side until I am ready to go in and actually blow out the hair. So repeat until you're finished with all 4 sections. And then when done, I take my blow dryer and I like to hit those ends a couple times just to help keep them straight. And then I go along the shaft of the hair. So I'm stretching it. I'm doing like the stretching method, and I'm using the dryer to go along the shaft of it periodically, from the bottom on up, detangling it and going through with the comb attachment, as you can see me doing. So yeah, I continue to do that until the hair is dry to my liking. The speed and the heat that you should use depends on your hair. If your hair dries extremely fast, you probably want to use smaller sections and medium heat, medium speed. If your hair takes a long time to dry, high speed, medium heat. If your hair takes 10 seconds, 30 seconds on high heat, high speed, then do that. You know, just always listen to your hair. You never want it to get drier. You never want it to get dry and it's not all the way stretched out. So if you feel like that your hair is drying faster than you are able to get it blown all the way out, then definitely turn down both your speed and your heat. If you feel like it's taking forever, turn up the heat but keep the speed down, if that makes sense, because it's drying it way too fast. All right, so now let's get into les braids. Parting her hair just makes it easy because she has a lot. So just putting in these 2 sections are helping me. I'm using this as a guide, but not really. It's not even straight down the middle, this part is, but like I said, I need to be able to divide it into sections so that I'm able to easily get through the hair and kind of keep my mind at ease, making sure I'm installing her braids correctly. So all I'm going to do is part the hair, and doing cornrows, and this is extremely easy. All you have to do is know how to braid. I personally like to braid a braid on the side and then go across the back, and then do the same thing on the other side and come back across to the other side. I like to do that because we have that space in the back of our head where you can't really part your hair going straight back and everything's going to be even. It gets more narrow going towards your nape neck area. So because of that, I feel like that helps. And I also feel like whenever I used to do it the other way, like years and years and years ago, whenever it came to like that hair kind of staying up in that braid, it always will come out, and it will always be like a problem area or a trouble area where you will want to, pull those little pieces out. I personally don't like that. I like for all of my hair to be put away in a protective style. So if I can protect those little back edges so that when I put my hair into a bun later on, it's going to be nice and full and thick back there as well. So doing this really helps on that. I know that her hair is red right here. Her scalp is. Before y'all say anything in the comments, I stopped and I asked her, like I asked all my clients, does this hurt you? Are you okay? She's fair skinned. So, come on, guys. It's gonna happen. Back to our regular schedule programming. I like to do that because it keeps tension off of that area. It doesn't hurt clients. I mean, my braids don't hurt anyways, but it really, really lessens the pain and discomfort when it comes to the back of that, especially like when doing crochets or even like doing a sew-in or something like that. You just don't want your foundation to be uncomfortable, and that really helps it to be comfortable and to make sure that, like I said again, all of the hair is put away. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to be doing the method where I'm not leaving any of the hair out except for the very last braid, and even that is going to be tucked in, but we'll get to that a little later on in the video. So as I'm braiding, you are going to see me pick up, you're not going to see me finish the braid all the way to the end, but you are going to see me pick up the braid that I didn't finish. The last braid that I didn't finish, you're going to see me pick that up to go into the braid that I'm currently on, as I just did. And I'll explain that again, although I'm sure you can see it, but like I said, I'll explain it again. Right, so you have heard it here a million times. We protect those edges. Ain't no need in trying to start that braid all the way up there at the top when it's just gonna come apart anyways because the hair is small, and I'm not going to add hair to it because we want to keep her edges. And I just feel like we are on such a good path that I don't even want to try it. Although I feel like her hair is pretty strong, I just want to make sure that we keep it at what we have. Because her hair, she has a lot of hair, I don't feel like she needs hair added to it. Anywho, swoop that little edge part and let's get to braiding. So you braid and you braid and braid. The thing about the braid that you're going to tuck in, you want to make sure that you braid down enough, but you want to leave a good amount so that you're able to lift it up and have a little room to, a little free hair to be able to braid so that it's not pulling as well. So you want that braid to be complete when it goes inside. You see how those other braids are complete? You don't see any free hair. You want it to be braided enough to where when you put it inside of the braid you're tucking it in, it you don't have the free hair until you have to start braiding, as you can see that right there. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining that part well. So to keep this part flat, and I'm going to thoroughly explain. I know I'm showing you in slow motion now, but to keep this part flat, I am going to be doing a little maneuver here with the braids. So basically what I'm doing is two of the strands that I'm using are going to be put together to make one strand. The braid that I tuck in is now going to be one strand. And then I'm going to have the one strand that has not been messed with. So you saw me put one strand up to the side. That strand will not be messed with. And then I tuck another strand. And then those two strands that are in my left hand, they're going to end up being one. The braid is going to end up being a strand. And then the other strand that I put to the side is going to be a strand. So those are now going to be my 3 strands. Okay. And you see how I'm constantly too making sure that I'm not pulling at that bottom area. Like I said, she's fair skinned, so she's going to have a reaction right now. But I always make sure that that's not pulling, because that can become extremely uncomfortable, especially if you're putting a sew in or crochet braids or something like that on top of it. That causes more tension. All right, so we're going to make sure that all of the hair is out of the way. We don't want any small little strands coming up when we pull this up. That'll be very uncomfortable for her, and she won't know how to get it out. Okay, so I'm going to put that one strand to the right. I'm adding those 2 strands that are in my left hand. Now they're one strand, and the braid that I tucked in is now a strand, which is what I just tucked. Okay. So after I do a couple of revolutions and I'm able to see the right side again, I'm going to pull it down enough, because as I'm braiding, it's going to be pulling upward just a little bit. So you don't want that tension. If I were to pull it up and keep that the same and start to braid, it would be pulling more and more, and that would really hurt her in the back there. Okay, so one more time. I took the right strand, the strand that was in my right hand, kind of put it to the side. The 2 strands that were in my left hand, I gathered them together, so now they were one strand. And then the braid that I tucked in is the 3rd strand, and I just keep on braiding. If you need to rewatch it, I think that's the best way to really understand it. Just rewind this part and play the slow-mo again so you can really see what I'm doing. But that is how you create a flat base at that back. That's how that back doesn't get bulky like that. All right, so I'm going to continue to do this for the duration of the style, and I'm just doing straight back braids, making sure that the width of the braids are the same as I'm going along. And I look at that by looking, or I keep those braids consistent by looking at the braid that I just did. So always making sure those parts are right. If you ever are doing a braid and it's like, ooh, this part is off, this braid is too skinny or whatever, it's okay. Unbraid it and get back to it. I guarantee your client will love you more for being there 2 or 3 extra minutes and a nice neat foundation than a braid or 2 or 3 or 4 or a part being off. It's really just worth it. I promise you it is. And it really shows that you care about, the outcome of your client's style or about your style if you're doing this yourself. It shows that you want longevity. It shows that you want to have nice and neat lines to be able to easily wash, to be able to easily moisturize and things like that, okay? So I'm going to let you all continue to watch as I do it. I'm going to show you how I do that method over and over and over again so that you can have a really, really flat base for lots and lots of hair like my client has. So yeah, enjoy. And I'm going to come back when it comes to the end. I'm going to show you how I tuck for 100% of her hair and ends put away for this protective style. All right, so when I get to the end of the braid, the last braid that is normally left out, I like to take my Roots Moisture Mist, spray that onto the ends. Remember, moisture comes from water. My moisture mist has rose water in it with a few essential oils. Then I add my Roots Hair and Body Oil Enhanced, and I put some of that on the hair, and I just braid, and I make sure to go, down the shaft of the hair so that all of the hair is getting both that water and that oil nice and saturated and juicy and moisturized, so that she can put it away and not have to worry about it until it's time for her wash day. And I like to over moisturize, in a sense, this part, because I am going to tuck it in. So I like to over moisturize it because I don't plan on, when I tuck it in, I don't really plan on her taking it out. You know what I'm saying? So just giving it a good head start. I do the same thing for the actual install. When I'm done, I use the Roots Moisture Mist to spray along the shaft of the hair, and then I go in with the oil. Like I said, if you use a good amount, y'all, telling you, your hair will love you. You will see why people say sew ins grow their hair out. It's because there is zero manipulation with their actual hair. None. Nada. Nathaniel. Nothing. No manipulation with her hair. I'm going to tuck that. She is not going to touch her hair other than washing it once a month and moisturizing it, spritzing it every single day, and oiling it about every 3 days. She likes to oil her edges about every day, so I told her to keep with that. But y'all, I told her I'm going to take this out for her so that I can show you all, because she's going to do another braid down, and I want to show you how well her hair does and how her braids are still together and how her hair is still moisturized. 3 months from now, okay? 3 months from when I upload this, I'm going to show you. For that big part, I just take some and put it on my oil on the palm of my hands, rub it in, and then press on the back of that, area. And now I'm just going down the shaft of her hair with that oil. So I'm taking my crochet needle. I'm going through the bottom, taking it in, boom, pull that through. Every time I tug through, I ask her, they feel all right? You don't want anything to hurt, okay? You don't want anything to hurt. Pull that through. I'm making sure that I'm putting it underneath all of her braids, okay? And because her hair is long too, it's really going to help it to stay put, because it has to go through and under so many braids, as opposed to like 2 or 3. So it's really, really, really going to stay for her. Okay? Really going to stay. So I continue to tuck as much as I can. I also don't want to confuse her. Well, I'm going to be taking it down. But if I had a client, I don't want to do too much, in, out, here, there with her hair. And if I had braiding hair, I would do it. The hair seems to just kind of slip out like much, much, much easier. I would do it, or I might do it, but not with the client's real hair. So I try to do as small amount of going through the actual braid to secure the hanging braid. Hope that makes sense. Alrighty, and here are the end results from very big and long hair to a super flat, secure, clean, extra super moisturized foundation. This is it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you found something that was helpful for you, something that you feel like may help a friend, help a mom, help a sister, help a brother, help a niece, help a auntie, help a coworker, help somebody out, send this video to them, okay? Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you learned something new, share it like I asked to somebody who may need it. Comment something that you liked on it, or liked about it, And make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on any videos that I have upcoming. I'm putting them out. I'm not putting them out weekly as I plan to, but I promise you guys, because I wanted to be so thoroughly explained and so well put out, I'm taking my time, with these videos. So I really do hope that you enjoy it. And I hope that you subscribe and that you are back for more. I will see you all next time. Peace and blessings.